On the next Empire Report, could Martian terraforming be coming undone? We look at why the planet's centuries-old transformation may be less stable than previously thought. And
Black Mountain tea. Millions of cups are drunk every day, but could the stimulant be behind a new mysterious ailment? Plus,
we talk to comedian Lupo Dingler to learn the 5 most annoying things about visiting Stanton 3.
all that and more on the latest Empire Report at 2200 SET.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 39 of Around the Verse. I'm Sandy Gardner.
And I'm Ben Lesnick.
Star Citizen Alpha 1.1.1 will be available this week.
Hopefully, that's
the plan.
That's always the plan. It hit the PTU on Tuesday. We're tracking all the issues we're discovering there, and we are hoping to have it out by the end of the week, possibly by the time you see this. And 1.1 is a pretty big update. 1.1.1 is a pretty big update. We've got the Gladiator flyable. We've added second seat functionality for a couple of ships, including the Gladiator, the Super Hornet, and fingers crossed, the Cutlass. So all sorts of things for you guys to explore and help us break as we move into development of multi-crew functionality.
Chris Roberts is in London directing the Squadron 42 film shoot. We'll be getting updates from him from time to time.
Yes, I can't wait to see how that goes. It's good to have Chris in the director's chair again.
I'm sure he's very excited about that. We have a stellar cast that we can't talk about.
They love it when we say we can't talk about something.
Yeah. Redacted and redacted. Now it's time for news from around the verse.
Let's go to the spectrum.
Hi, I'm Darian Vorlick.
And I'm Lisa Ohanian.
And we are the production team over here at Cloud Imperium Games in Santa Monica with our update for the week. Starting off, we've got one really cool, interesting, it might be an interesting tidbit that's being designed by Randy Vasquez. We built a kind of a sandbox gym map where he gets to kind of test like a lot of how the AI interacts, some of the balancing stuff. It's kind of this open playground where we get to throw stuff in and see how it interacts, and something that's kind of a test environment that our designers have been needing for a while. Something that I don't think the players will ever see at this point. We may,
but it's helpful for us.
Yes, it is incredibly helpful for us. We do have a ship update.
Yes, we do have a ship update. Recently, we've been working on the concept for the Genesis Starliner, which is a really big, cool-looking cruise ship.
Yeah.
We have our art outsourcers, some of them working on the concept right now, and should hopefully be ready soonish.
Hopefully. One of the ideas behind it is not only do we want players to be able to ride around on it on this intergalactic star ferry, but also maybe some escort missions, like you have to escort this liner across the solar system where pirates may come and raid it, and where the pirates may be the players as well. So we'll see. And finally, our last tidbit is we're working on patch 1.1.0a with the Gladiator getting ready for flight readiness, but it's also going to be our first patch where we're allowing multiplayer cruise ships. So you can have a second player jump into the turret of the Cutlass or the Super Hornet or the Gladiator. So hopefully we should have that ready to you. We're hoping this week, where we're right on that cusp and it's almost done. We're just trying to hammer out a few more bugs.
Yeah.
So that's all we got for Santa Monica. So once again, I'm Darian.
I'm Lisa.
And that's all for us. Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm David Langeliers, senior producer at Alphonic.
I'm Travis Day, producer for Cloud Imperium.
So this week, we finished prototyping the Sataball mode for FPS. We talked about that before, but it's sort of a futuristic sport using the Astro Arena level. So the guys have finally finished prototyping that in Flowgraph, and they'll be moving on to actually getting everything hooked up in code now.
It's quite exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We also got, so as part of that with Astro Arena, one of the things we wanted was the more realistic kind of zero-G mechanics. So We've got full body look poses now for 0G, so as you look around, it's not just your upper torso like twisting and looking around, which would look really unnatural in 0G. It's actually from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes, your whole body is in an animation, and as you turn around, everything moves as one organism like you are, because normally in games where you have gravity, you just do it from the hip up, but we're doing it from toe to head. And as part of that, we kind of finished up the 0G previs. So one of the things you do in these games is you try to have previs done for what you want it to look like, right? So we sat down with the designers and basically what did they want the movement to look like? What did they want the behavior to be for the player? And then the animators took that away and then went and iterated on it until they got down like you call it like a script, basically. And you get it looking right. So that looks good, it's approved, and I think we're easily going to be able to achieve that look now.
Yeah, I think so too. The last thing we have to talk about is we've been reworking all the VFX for all the weapons and all the grenades and all the gadgets and everything. The main goal being to match up all of the visual effects between ships and handheld weapons so that they're all using the same technology. So if a ship weapon is using laser bolts, using this certain type of ammo or a laser repeater, then the laser repeater or laser bolt gun in the handheld form would be using the same type of effects. And that's being done, like I said, for all weapons. So in the end, the goal is to have everything consistent across the entire game, depending on the type of technology used.
Yeah, Matt Hubble's done a really good job on that.
Yep, it's looking real good. So that's it for us from Alphonic this week. Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
Hey guys, Jake Ross here, associate producer of the Persistent Universe, and here with me this week I have
Nathan Blaisdell. I'm a game designer of Persistent Universe.
And this week we got a brief update for you regarding what we got going on here in Austin. So this week Tony started his work on the Pioneer occupation. So you saw kind of what he can do with design when he kind of put out his mining doc a little while back. He's going to do the same thing now with the Pioneer, what he's calling the Pioneer occupation, which is like exploration and kind of charting on uncharted territories. So that'll be pretty cool to see coming up. We're also working on a cool new set of animations for what we're calling grabby hands. The grabby hand system is being developed out in LA, and it's pretty cool that they got going on out there. So we're just providing the animation support to make it look really cool, so that players can actually go and pick up things with some amount of fidelity. So that'll be cool to see as well. I'll pass it off to Nate. Nate's going to talk a little bit about shopping and what we can expect from the social module as far as buying and selling goes.
So we've been spending time figuring out how the shopping experience from shop to shop differs or is similar, and making each one feel like it's specialized to that area. So for example, Cubby Blast, where it's all personal weapons and items. You'll walk around and you'll see items on the shelves and you'll look at them in your catalog view as well and purchase them right there. Whereas something in Astro Armada, which is a place where you would purchase a big item like a ship, you might actually spend more time with that, where you go and look at a hologram of all the different ships available and get familiar with that ship before you make that big purchase. We're also figuring out ways to make the shops have different services or other functionality beyond just the simple shopping nature of the shop.
Can you give a little explanation, just kind of example, or?
For going back to Cubby Blast, like we were talking about having a shooting range in the back of it, so you can test fire weapons that they're selling there.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, you'll have that to look forward to at least in some form when the social module releases here pretty soon. So look forward to that. That's all we got for you this week. Thanks, guys. See you around.
Hi, I'm Luke Presley, Senior Designer on Arena Commander.
Hi, I'm Danny Reynolds. I'm Junior Designer on Arena Commander.
So for the past few months, we've been working on the tutorial for Arena Commander. It's a feature that has been asked for a lot on the forums due to the complexity of the flight and ship systems. So we wanted to create something that would cater for new players, as well as deliver some exciting new content for more advanced players.
Yeah, so making a tutorial is one of the most challenging parts of a game, especially a game as complex as ours. It was important for us to keep the tutorial engaging, so we've gone down a very narrative-driven route. The player is enrolled in a military flight exercise, and it's run by a veteran instructor who will take you through a series of maneuvers and scenarios. Some of the things that you'll cover in the tutorial will be takeoff and landing, basic flight, interacting with your ship systems, and engaging in combat to test your dogfighting skills.
Yep. So this is the first time we've released anything as complex and story-driven. And we've learned a lot from it, stuff that will be carried over into Squadron 42. And another exciting addition to the tutorial is the asteroid hangar we've made, with full interior and exterior. You'll be able to fly in and out of it at your will, because as soon as the tutorial's done, we'll be looking to get that into free flight for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously the tutorial is something that will constantly be worked on as systems for S42 and for the PU expand. And we'll be looking to hear your feedback on it. And just let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see you in the verse.
See you later.
Now let's go over to Jenny in Austin, who's doing an art roundtable.
Hey everyone, we're here back in the Austin office. We had such a good time with our first Austin Artist Roundtable that we are back and we're doing another one with 4 great people here, and I figure we'll just start going around the table and introducing each other.
My name is Patrick Thomas, lead artist on Persistent Universe.
My name is Vanessa Landeros, and I am an animator here and also a motion capture specialist.
Josh Coons, 3D artist.
Liam Marcoon, VFX artist. And I made the snow globes.
Something to brag about.
Yep.
So Austin is predominantly known as the PU office. Is there anything just hot off the top of your mind that you want to discuss about what you're working on, or anything that the fans might want to know about?
The levels are looking incredible. We are really reaching a point, I think, in video games where the quality is reaching what you see in cinematics. Every time we see some of these levels, we're just astonished by how detailed everything is becoming. We're also very excited about the white box stage, where we go through and block everything out. We're just seeing some stunning sets that are going to be created by Behavior of Montreal, and with our help down here too as well.
I think also what's exciting about these levels that we're seeing knocked out is populating them with hundreds of animations that I have the privilege of working on. It's always fun going on set for a mocap shoot and getting to randomly tell an actor to act out a barfing scene because he's sick and he's in the, he's in the medical office waiting for a doctor and he can't hold it anymore. So fun things like that make the Persistent Universe is what I think is worthwhile working in this job.
Well, you could see the people dancing in the new South by Southwest trailer.
Yeah.
That was the highlight for me.
Our hope of that is that we have different attitudes also that come with the AI in the game, sort of like the shy dancer or the super drugged out, it's like extroverted dancer, or even just crazy personalities that we want to add to this universe to kind of make it make it seem more alive.
Absolutely. You want that whole range of emotions on every tier of things.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. How about you guys?
I think I'm the odd man out here.
Yeah?
I'm kind of on the ship team.
Okay.
So I'm mostly working on ships, but I am occasionally pulled off to do the occasional PU task. I think the last thing PU related I did was the Senator Akari statue, getting that high res made up and sent off, and then I went back on to doing ships again.
It's cool.
I think mine is with particles and effects and everything is trying to keep it so I don't blow up people's video cards. So it'll probably be the best thing I could describe. Because it runs on my home computer, so I don't want it to kill on your computer. But it's fun, like making, smoke and stuff like that. Holograms are fun. I like making holograms. If you see like screens, I like making screens.
You're doing a lot of the advertisements, a lot of stuff we see in the PU universe.
Yeah. I try to get a little. When I make a screen, I try to put a little Easter egg in it. Mm-hmm. One of our character artists had his X-ray done, and I put his X-ray into the game, so he's now one of the screens. Yeah. That's always fun. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be fun doing the space effects like nebulas and asteroids and all kinds of crazy things. I'm looking forward to doing space stuff.
Well, I'm sure that the fans are very happy that you guys were able to sit down with us, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but if there's anything else you guys want to say about anything, you're welcome to.
Thanks to the fans who made it out to South by Southwest to view all our hard work. I know all of us here really worked hard on it, so just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I would say like being at South by, hearing people cheer was and like screaming was really it really like I was like I almost cried, which is kind of weird.
Emotional.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because we worked so hard on that. And thank you to everybody for like supporting us and sending us wonderful things and coming to visit us at work.
Yes.
That's even better.
Giving us cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fans are super cool. It's always good to meet them, get feedback, and feel the effect of your work. It's always awesome.
All right, well, thanks again, guys, and see you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.
That cargo bay's open. It's all yours.
Oh, this bitch.
Oh my god, you're doing it. Your landing gear deployed that may be a little premature. Your landing gear's up. It's just.
Well, I've got all of the landing on the so you guys are
Whoa!
Oh, I just died.
Oh, that killed you. Oh, you got so close. You're inside. I'm going to close my door and see what happens.
Thanks, Jenny. By the way, for those who follow our team directly, Jenny is now here in Santa Monica working with the rest of the community team. So welcome to California.
All right, we're also glad to welcome aboard Jared Disco Lando Huckabee, who will be community manager with a focus on editing.
I don't have a joke here, but I'm sure we can take it out in post.
You're supposed to make a joke. This segment is poorly edited. There we go.
Take this one, Lando.
Yes. Now we're trying something new with our interviews. This week we're hearing from writer William Weissbaum and our archivist Cherie Heiberg.
Hi, I'm Will Weissbaum, a writer here at CIG for Star Citizen, the game. And with me today, I would like to introduce one of our newest employees, Cherie. Cherie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Cherie Heiberg. I'm the archivist. I recently came on board to help get Confluence in order and to help write the Galacticpedia.
So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. Kind of what happened is, as you guys may have been hearing about, we're expanding quite rapidly. We have 4 studios now spread across the globe between Santa Monica, Austin, Manchester, and now the upcoming Frankfurt studio. So, and that's not even including all the outside studios like Turbulent and Ilphonic. And the way we share information is through an internal Confluence kind of wiki page. So with all those people using it and it being developed as rapidly as possible, it's kind of turned into this unwieldy beast. There's multiple pages saying the same information, all this kind of stuff. So we really needed someone to come in and help us organize all the information that we have. There's a ton of information. So what did you think when you first came in and saw all the data that we had floating out there and we were trying to share?
I thought, wow. I could see that everybody was trying to use the space for its intended purpose. Everybody wanted to collaborate, wanted to share information so that everybody was up to date. But the problem was there were just no guidelines in place. So it kind of grew organically. Someone would come in and say, oh, I think I want information about ground-based missile launchers over here in art. And then someone said, well, no, I think that should be under design because we're covering a different aspect. And so the ultimate result would there would be 8 different pages about ground-based missile launchers just spread all over with outdated information or new information that sprung up all of a sudden.
Not that we have ground-based missile launchers. That wasn't confirmation or anything on that. It's just an example.
Just an example for the sake of explanation.
So because Confluence is one of those things that people have to use every day, there was a lot of strong opinions when you came in and people kind of thinking on how things should be organized. So how was it when you first came in and started talking to people?
Well, mostly everybody was really excited that someone was coming in to help. And so everyone was willing to meet with me. We had an initial meeting with a bunch of people from a bunch of different offices who all had different opinions on how to organize the whole thing. I eventually had individual meetings with a couple of people like Forrest and Dan. Forrest and Dan both had very strong opinions.
Were they conflicting opinions or did they see eye to eye? What?
Well, at first they were a little conflicting, but I think I worked out a way to make them both work with each other. So we're gonna have a manual section so that everybody can know how to use tools, and that was something that I talked about with Forrest. And then something that I talked about with Dan was moving everything from departmental so that you have different pages all across different departments to asset-based, so that like if you have a page for one certain spaceship and one certain line, all the information is in one place.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And so even like at this level, Chris also came in and voiced kind of his opinions because Chris is involved in everything and he's amazing. So what was his kind of take on how all this data should be organized?
He thought that asset-based organization was a good idea, and he also wanted me to pay attention to places where designers and artists and engineers and everyone could have work-in-progress places, where everybody could have documents in one place that weren't approved yet, like brainstorming spaces.
So, and being able to quickly see on a page where in the development process it is.
Yeah, that's extremely vital because before there were no markers on any pages to say, hey, this has been approved, or it was just kind of like a blank.
Yeah, we have kind of like 2 timelines. We have like BCR and ACR as kind of important designation points of when things are in the approval process. So knowing what stuff's been kind of stamped by Chris and hasn't been. Is really because you can read all you want, and if it's just someone tossing out an idea, you know.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well.
So, how did you end up being the perfect person to do this job? What's your kind of background in organization and archiving and all that?
Well, my background is in library science. I have a master's degree in library science from the University of North Carolina.
Ooh.
Yes, and my specialization was in digital preservation.
Yeah, I read a little bit of your big master kind of thesis, and it was on video games, right?
That's right. My master's paper was on preserving video games because there's almost no one who's paying attention to this extremely, extremely important thing, which is to preserve the history of video games. And like we've lost a lot of information at this point because it's like the early history of television or the early history of film. Like in film, no one cared about it, and they would just like throw film canisters off the Santa Monica Pier and be like, whatever, it's fine, I don't need this anymore. And now we have like something like over 50% of films lost, and the same thing is happening to video games. Like we don't know the exact date of when Super Mario Bros. Was released in the United States. And one would think, considering what a successful game that has been since it came out, that we might know this little thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure that's something a lot of our backers can appreciate, being a lot of old school gamers going way back. So that's pretty awesome. So hopefully, part of your efforts will be preserving our history, a Star Citizen.
Yes, absolutely.
One of the kind of interesting problems that I've discussed with you before is this idea of we have these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of informational pages on the Confluence, and you're starting to introduce this new organizational system. How do you go about making those changes while everyone's still rapidly adding new stuff? Like that sounds like a monumental task to overcome.
It is. I'm going to have to build up the new space for sharing outside of the original space, and once the skeleton of that is done, then I'm going to have to pick a weekend where no one is working or where very few people are working, and then migrate everything over, which is probably going to take a very long time. But I think everyone's going to be happy with the new system.
Yeah, I think it's really kind of an underappreciated aspect of video game development when you have so many people working on one project. File organization and hierarchy and information sharing is just crucial to make sure everyone's vision is in line with each other. You know, between, you know, on the data structure side of Perforce, where we manage check-ins and check-outs of file, to kind of all the Confluence, more design-based stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's very easy to lose information in any kind of digital environment. It's just like, think of the way you have files on your computer. You wrote something a few years ago, you called it document 1 because you weren't really thinking about what to name it. That file is probably gone forever among the 5,000 other document 1s you produced over the years.
I mean, this became kind of a problem that I became impassioned about, because trying to write these lore stories and doing research and making sure that the stuff I presented was accurate, and having to go through, you know, Confluence and the website and like even using fan pages, which were sometimes more accurate representations of information, to make sure that I was being as accurate as possible to our universe. So it's going to be real great to kind of have a definitive source.
Absolutely.
And then moving forward, we're transitioning from taking this information on Confluence and putting it into the public-facing Galacticpedia.
Yes.
So you've also been involved in that?
I have. I've been creating structures for each page so that we'd have all the right information available, like climate and history and demographics, you know, anything that you would have would be important about a town, or economy, places where you can, like special places on the world where you can buy certain ships, like the Mustang line, which is only available on Rytiff.
Is it exciting to be designing your own encyclopedia, basically?
Yes, I love it.
So what are you bringing into it that you think that other encyclopedias have done right or wrong, or what is going to make the Galacticpedia really awesome?
I think it's going to be much more in depth than normal encyclopedias that you get in other games, like the Codex and Mass Effect, while entertaining, didn't have very much in-depth knowledge about the planets that you came to. But the Galacticpedia is going to have like Encyclopedia Britannica levels of depth about.
That scares me to hear you say that, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm going to be involved in writing this stuff.
Yes. You know, all the information that a Star Citizen could want.
Well, and then the exciting part of this is that this is really going to be a living resource, you know, for when the PU starts going live and these discoveries are being made by backers themselves, and being able to incorporate that information and adding like the little add-ons on the bottom of the page of citing people.
Yeah, it's going to grow. It's not going to be a static thing.
So have you, or do you feel yourself becoming an expert on Star Citizen now that you're reading all these documents and planetary information and all that?
I'm on my way.
What is the most interesting thing you've learned about Star Citizen so far in your deep dive?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's
Well, you can say, we'll figure
anything.
it out. If we can't use it, we won't use it, but
Okay, I was interested in the Tevarin.
Oh, the Tevarin.
The Tevarin, about how they were
This is why we need a pronunciation guide.
Tevarin.
By the way.
Yeah, see, I put a pronunciation
Yeah.
guide. I want to do that and then say the words. I want to be the pronunciation
Oh, the voice of it?
That would be so cool.
Tevarin.
Tevarin.
So what really got you excited about them?
I was really attracted to their story. You know, they were this race of warriors who were trying to explore the galaxy on their own terms, and then the humans come along and they're like, oh, hey guys, we just want to hang out maybe and expand our own empire. And the Tevarin were like, no, we want to expand our empire. And it ended up with them losing their home world. Like, they lost their whole home world to us. Yeah, their final stand with the warlord dropping his shields on his ship, and
The battle for Centauri.
The battle, yeah, and then they just kind of like entered the atmosphere as slowly disintegrating comets. that really caught my heart.
Well, I know that you and I have had heated debates already on Terra versus Earth, and
Terra, up Terra.
Sure is a hardline Terran.
Absolutely.
Well, it's really, really exciting to have you on board, and I'm glad we got to share a little bit of kind of the behind the scenes of this silent killer, I guess I would call it, for video game development.
Yes.
So hopefully it'll be exciting, and hopefully in upcoming months we'll have more information to share on the Galactopedia.
We will.
Well, once again, I'm Will Weissbaum, and this is
Cherie Heiberg.
See you around the verse.
Very cool. Game preservation is a hobby of mine as well.
And this week wouldn't be complete without Bugsmashers.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bugsmashers. As you can see, I'm back from retirement. Life decided to give me lemons, and well, I can't make lemonade with this.
Bugsmashers!
Hey everyone, we are here in my fancy dancy level with a box and a ship you guys have never seen before, or have you? So, in this ship, we discovered a fun little bug where the ship will actually interact with the player and kill him when you try to fly around. So I'm gonna fly this guy crazily and going around and around. Mind you, I killed myself, and there we go, the ship collided. And I know some of you are going to go, oh no, why wasn't he doing G-forces? Well, I turned it off just for this test. So G-forces work, I just turned them off. So as you can see, my guy died and he respawned because the ship decided, hey, I'm going to collide with you. So let's see that again. Come on, ship, collide with me. And then kill me. Up, there we go. And the ship killed me again. So, what's happening? Give me my mouse. I want my mouse. Ooh, crash. Unrelated crash? Bet you it's the HUD. It's gonna be the HUD. Give me my mouse. Yeah, it's the HUD. There's a bug for that somewhere else. But, back to the original problem. So the player has his own physics and the ship has its own physics, and we attach the player onto the ship and we're supposed to say, hey, don't interfere with each other. However, they are. That's a problem. So why is that happening? Well, when we stick the player on, he's ignoring the ship. However, sometime later, because of the unordered nature of the CryEngine, the player may try to physicalize himself because he got on a new helmet or a new armor set and he has to fix his physics, and that doesn't reset the collision information saying, hey, you should skip the vehicle. And the reason why that happens is because of the nature of good old multiplayer where you could get the helmet before the player, and we have to make sure that everything hooks up no matter what order you get. So here we are in the player, or the actor physicalization function, and what we're going to do is have this little bit of code where we will first remove ourselves from the vehicle ignore list, and then we will do our physicalization, or recreate the player physics. And then we will add that new physics onto the ship ignore list. And let's compile that guy and give it a try. Take a sip from my sippy cup. So we're back in our level. Let's try this again. I am going to turn off G-forces just for my sanity to make sure this thing works as expected. Now we're gonna fly cuckoo, and as you can see, we're not falling out because the player's not getting killed. Woohoo! And we'll just do this for a little bit more to verify. Whee! I'm spinning around, not getting killed by my own ship. Because physics is cuckoo. Woohoo! Alright, so there you have it. Fun little crazy physics bug. Bam! So, as you guys saw, we had a little fun physics bug with the ship not ignoring the player physics and killing him. We took care of that by saying, hey, if you're going to change your physics player, make sure you add yourself to the ignore list of the vehicle. Bam, done, player can fly fine and never get killed. Till next time on Bugsmashers, I'll see you on the Lemonverse. Too cheesy?
Thanks, Mark.
Lemonade's overrated.
Now let's talk about events. Tickets for Gamescom are going up tomorrow, are they?
They are.
Okay.
We're going to have all our information about Gamescom posted tomorrow. We sat down and we reviewed our last couple of events. We decided we're going to change our plan for the future. A lot of people wanted more to do at the event itself, so we're going to have more of the team out there. Sandy will be there, I'll be there, James,
Chelsea, Alexis, Manchester guys.
Yep, Frankfurt guys. You're going to have a lot more than just Chris giving a presentation at our next couple events, and we're really looking forward to it.
There will be a new design brief covering FPS stances and breathing tomorrow.
So if you guys didn't know how to breathe before, tomorrow's your lucky day.
And in honor of Alpha 1.1.1, we're kicking off a sale on some of our 2 military seaters.
So if you're interested in picking up a Super Hornet or a Gladiator, they will be available starting tomorrow.
So can we fly them?
Yes, you can. They're both flyable, and in free flight, you can actually land them and let a second player get in the turret, which is something we've enabled for multi-crew. We don't have the menus or anything in yet, but you can go ahead and play with a turret if you sneak around.
So you're saying you and me could actually fight together?
We could fight together.
Oh, look at that.
Once we get our battle over, we can run a ship together.
Okay, I'm up for it. Tune in tomorrow to meet the Foundry 42 Frankfurt team in a special Inside CIG.
And it wouldn't be ATV if we weren't leaving you with a sneak peek, so check this out.
Thanks everybody for watching, and to subscribers for making this show possible. We will see you next week on Around the Verse.
I don't want to do it with
windshield
my hands
wipers.
here. Ah! Presenting a brand
Good
new
Lord.
car.
So cheesy.